Election night continued. Tonight, the electoral map still looks just like it did yesterday. Joe Biden leads with 253 electoral votes. President Trump has 213. It hasn't changed in days, in fact. While there are 6 states still in play, all eyes are on the 4 battlegrounds of Pennsylvania, Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada. Let's start with Pennsylvania. Joe Biden leading by nearly 29,000 votes. There are about 100,000 votes left to count. Now to Georgia, a traditionally red state, of course, that's trending blue tonight. Joe Biden leads by nearly 4,400 votes. There may be as few as 1,000 votes left to count. In Arizona, Biden is ahead, but that number shrunk a bit today. Tonight, he is up by nearly 30,000 votes. There are about 200,000 votes left to count there. And in Nevada, Biden has nearly doubled his lead over President Trump. Nearly 22,660 votes separate the two. We do not know for sure how many votes are left to count in that state. Both campaigns are addressing the latest developments tonight.
My fellow Americans, we don't have a final declaration of victory yet, but the numbers tell us it's clear, tell us a clear and convincing story. We're going to win this race.
Joe Biden is on the brink of making history. With ballots still being counted in 5 key states, his lead is still expanding, particularly as mail-in ballots are finally counted. He addressed the nation tonight.
Democracy works. Your vote will be counted. I don't care how hard people try to stop it. I will not let it happen.
In tonight's speech, Biden once again called for unity.
The purpose of our politics, the work of the nation, isn't to fan the flames of conflict, but to solve problems, to guarantee justice, to give everybody a fair shot, and to improve the lives of our people. We may be opponents, but we're not enemies. We're Americans.
But with President Trump not expected to concede, the Biden campaign today said that voters will decide and that the United States government is perfectly capable of escorting trespassers out of the White House. Biden's slight lead in Georgia came thanks to new totals from a metro Atlanta county, once represented by the late Congressman John Lewis, a longtime voting rights advocate who frequently clashed with President Trump. A Biden win in the GOP stronghold would be the first by a Democrat in 28 years. But state officials today said the razor-thin margin means Georgia is probably headed for a recount.
The final tally in Georgia at this point has huge implications for the entire country. We will get it right, and we'll defend the integrity of our elections.
In Philadelphia, an assembly line of election workers has been sorting, opening, and preparing the final mail-in ballots to be scanned. Outside the city convention center, music and chants from a crowd calling for every vote to be counted drowned out the voices of Trump supporters who are in disbelief Trump could have lost his lead. Philadelphia's mayor was asked at a press conference today what he thinks the president should do next.
Put his big boy pants on. He needs to acknowledge the fact that he lost, and he needs to congratulate the winner.
But President Trump is vowing tonight to fight on with no plans to concede. The Trump campaign issued a statement today that read, "This election is not over," saying they'd continue to pursue lawsuits and recounts in the states still undecided. The president made that clear last night.
This is a case where they're trying to steal an election. They're trying to rig an election.
But the mood is somber inside the White House, with one aide telling CBS News the end is near, and a top Republican official saying the president's fraud claims are harmful to democracy.
There is simply no evidence that anybody has shown me or anyone else I'm aware of any kind of widespread corruption or fraud.
Senator Lindsey Graham, a close ally of President Trump, said the president needs to present evidence of wrongdoing.
I think we need to point to instances that are specific.
But the president, who has yet to do that, is pushing for an all-out legal assault to slow Biden's momentum.
There's tremendous litigation going on.
So far, President Trump's challenges have focused on minor procedural issues. The president's team has not introduced any evidence of widespread or significant fraud. Expect recounts in both Wisconsin and Georgia, but rarely do they change the original outcome.
The fight is not over.
Trump advisor David Bossie will now coordinate the campaign's legal strategy, which has already suffered setbacks with 2 cases tossed out yesterday. Amid concerns the president won't go quietly, top economic advisor Larry Kudlow insisted there will be a peaceful transfer of power.
We abide by the rule of law, and so will this president.
So Biden in that speech tonight said that even though he has not been projected the winner, he's already getting to work. He said he and Senator Harris met with public health experts to discuss the response to the pandemic. Of course, we will keep our eye on these key states and all the numbers as they come in.